Welcome back to No Beach and Sea TV, your gateway to the wonders of the ocean. Today, we're diving deep into the mysterious world of one of the most enigmatic creatures of the deep, the lobster. These creatures have captivated the imagination of humans for centuries. Not only for their culinary appeal, but also because of their fascinating biology and complex behavior. While lobsters might seem like simple crustaceans, their lives are far from ordinary. From their ability to regrow lost limbs to their mysterious molting process and complex communication, lobsters are full of surprises. But that's just the surface. Lobsters are survivors, having been around for millions of years, navigating the depths of the oceans in ways we still don't fully understand. In this video, we'll uncover the incredible mysteries of lobsters. How do they communicate without words? What happens when they lose a claw? Why do they molt? We'll take a closer look at their lives beneath the waves and reveal the secrets that have kept scientists intrigued for so long. Grab your diving gear, because we're about to take a journey into the hidden world of lobsters, exploring their habitats, behaviors, and the challenges they face in the ever-changing marine environment. Lobsters, with their tough exoskeletons and powerful claws, are some of the most formidable creatures in the ocean, yet there's much more to them than meets the eye. To truly understand their mysterious nature, we first need to examine their anatomy. Let's start with the lobster's exoskeleton. Lobsters belong to the arthropod family, which means they have a hard external skeleton that provides protection. This exoskeleton is made of a tough substance called chitin, reinforced with minerals like calcium carbonate. It's what gives lobsters their signature hard shell. But it's also one of the reasons why lobsters must molt or shed their exoskeleton as they grow. Now, let's talk about those iconic claws. Lobsters are famous for their large, asymmetrical claws, which serve multiple purposes. One claw is typically larger, called the crusher claw, and it's used for breaking shells and crushing food. The smaller claw is called the cutter claw, and it's used for cutting and tearing prey into manageable pieces. But a lobster's claws aren't just tools, they're also weapons. When threatened, lobsters can use their claws to defend themselves against predators. And, believe it or not, these claws can regenerate. If a lobster loses a claw in a battle or accident, it can grow a new one during the next molting cycle. A remarkable survival adaptation. Lobsters also have long, sensitive antennae that help them navigate their environment. These antennae are equipped with thousands of tiny sensory hairs that detect changes in water currents, chemicals, and other stimuli. It's like having a built-in GPS system. Despite their tough exoskeletons and claws, lobsters are fragile creatures. They rely on the ocean's rocky, sheltered habitats to hide and molt. The combination of their sturdy exoskeletons, powerful claws, and highly sensitive sensory equipment makes lobsters both impressive and mysterious. One of the most fascinating and mysterious aspects of a lobster's life is its molting process. Unlike humans, who grow continuously, lobsters have to shed their exoskeletons in order to grow. This process, known as molting or ectasis, is critical to their survival and growth. But it's also one of the most vulnerable times in a lobster's life. The molting process begins when the lobster's old exoskeleton becomes too tight, signaling the need for a new one. This marks the start of a transformation that takes place over several weeks. Inside their bodies, lobsters begin producing a new, softer exoskeleton beneath the old one. At the same time, their bodies start to take in water, causing them to swell and loosen the old shell. When the moment arrives, the lobster crawls out of its old exoskeleton, leaving it behind in a perfect cast, like a snake shedding its skin. This process can take hours, during which the lobster is particularly vulnerable to predators. During this time, the lobster's body is soft, and it must hide in a safe, protected place until its new shell hardens. Molting is a critical survival strategy for lobsters, but it comes with risks. A lobster can only molt a limited number of times throughout its life, and if something goes wrong during the molting process, the lobster can die. Additionally, the newly molted lobster is often more vulnerable to predators because of its soft, fragile body. But perhaps the most fascinating aspect of molting is the lobster's ability to regenerate lost limbs. If a lobster loses a claw or leg during a fight or an accident, it can grow a new one during its next molt. Over time, this gives lobsters the ability to survive and adapt to a variety of challenges in their environment. Lobsters are known for their solitary and territorial nature, but they also have complex behaviors and methods of communication that remain a mystery to scientists. While we typically think of lobsters as quiet creatures, they actually have a highly sophisticated system for communicating with one another, especially when it comes to mating and territorial disputes. One of the most notable behaviors in lobsters is their use of body language. When two lobsters encounter one another, especially when they're both after the same shelter or food, they often engage in a display of strength. Lobsters will use their claws in intricate gestures, waving them in the air or snapping them together. This behavior is an attempt to assert dominance or to establish territorial boundaries. Sometimes, the display turns into a full-on fight, where lobsters lock claws and battle to determine who will win access to a shelter or food source. Lobsters also communicate through chemical signals. They release pheromones, chemicals that signal information about their status, readiness to mate, and even warnings to other lobsters. This type of chemical communication is key to how lobsters find mates in the dark, murky waters where they live. Interestingly, female lobsters often use these pheromones to indicate to males that they are ready to mate. In addition to their territorial displays, lobsters are expert burrowers. They dig and create complex networks of tunnels in the ocean floor, where they can hide and seek refuge from predators. These burrows serve as a sanctuary where lobsters can safely molt and rest. It's not uncommon for lobsters to spend most of their lives in these burrows, venturing out only for food. When lobsters do leave their burrows, it's often at night. These nocturnal creatures are more active after the sun goes down, hunting for prey and scouring the ocean floor for food. Their diet consists mainly of mollusks, small fish, and even seaweed. Their ability to adapt to different environments and find food in the darkness makes lobsters remarkable survivors. The life cycle of a lobster is just as fascinating as the creature itself. From the moment they hatch from their eggs to their eventual maturity, lobsters go through several stages of development, each with its own set of challenges. It all begins when a female lobster carries thousands of fertilized eggs beneath her tail. After a period of incubation, the eggs hatch, and the larvae are released into the water. These larvae are tiny and translucent, drifting with the ocean currents in search of food. The first stage of life for a lobster is largely passive, as the larvae are carried by the tides. During this time, lobsters face a high mortality rate. Many don't survive the perilous journey through the open water. As they mature, the larvae undergo a dramatic transformation, entering the juvenile stage. At this point, they resemble miniature adult lobsters, though they are still vulnerable to predators. Juvenile lobsters begin to settle on the ocean floor, taking refuge in crevices and beginning to hunt for food. As they grow, they molt, shedding their exoskeletons multiple times over the course of their early life. Eventually, lobsters reach adulthood, but their growth doesn't stop there. As they continue to molt throughout their lives, they keep growing, although the rate of growth slows down as they age. Some lobsters can live for several decades, and it's not uncommon for them to grow to impressive sizes, with some reaching weights of up to 40 pounds or more. The adult stage of a lobster's life is marked by independence and territoriality. Lobsters continue to molt, hunt for food, and reproduce, ensuring that the cycle of life continues. However, their lives are not without danger. Predators, diseases, and human fishing practices all pose significant threats to the lobster population. Despite these challenges, lobsters continue to thrive in many parts of the world, playing a vital role in marine ecosystems. Lobsters play a crucial role in marine ecosystems, as both predators and prey. They help maintain the balance of the underwater food chain. Their primary function, as scavengers, helps clean the ocean floor, feeding on dead animals, mollusks, and seaweed. By consuming detritus, lobsters prevent the buildup of waste and maintain the health of the ecosystem. Additionally, lobsters serve as an important food source for a variety of marine predators, including fish, seals, and even some larger crustaceans. They are a vital part of the food web, linking the smaller organisms of the ocean to the larger predators higher up the chain. Without lobsters, the balance of the ecosystem would be disrupted. Because of their essential role in marine food webs, lobsters are often considered an indicator species. Changes in lobster populations can signal shifts in the health of marine environments. Factors such as water temperature, pollution, and overfishing can significantly impact lobster populations, and monitoring these changes can help scientists better understand the health of our oceans. Lobsters are more than just a prized delicacy. They are a living, breathing part of the ocean's complex ecosystem. While their lives remain shrouded in mystery, one thing is clear: these creatures are essential to the health of our oceans. However, lobsters face many threats today, from overfishing to environmental changes and habitat destruction. The future of lobsters, like many marine species, depends on our ability to protect the delicate balance of our ocean ecosystems. Through sustainable fishing practices, habitat preservation, and continued research, we can ensure that lobsters continue to thrive for generations to come. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the mysterious world of lobsters. Be sure to subscribe to No Beach and Sea TV for more fascinating stories from the ocean. Together, we can help protect and preserve the wonders of the sea. Until next time, keep exploring.